Okay, so we, just to recap where we were a few days ago, a few lessons ago, we started with the basics, finding gradients and finding distances, midpoints, etc. Then in lesson 2, which we had last week Thursday, that your quiz was on, we looked at these angles of inclination. And today we are going to actually start with the grade 12 part of the analytical geometry, which is all about the circle. Okay. You do need a little bit of knowledge from your circle geometry that hopefully most of you have done by now. But when we get there, I will point that out to you. Right, so I hope you have your pen and paper ready and your calculator, because you have to follow along as we go. We can only learn maths through doing. So please work with us as we go through the questions and try everything and give your answers. That's the best way to learn. Okay, so let's start off and just think about what is a circle. And I think maybe when most of us think of a circle, the word radius comes to mind, maybe the word diameter, circumference, all of those things. And if you've done circle geometry, maybe you can already remember all of your theorems. But basically all the circle is a set of points that are an equal distance from a given point, which we call the center. So if I have the center of the circle, all the points around that circle will be an equal distance from that center. In other words, every point on the circumference of a circle is equidistant from its center. Equidistant is a big word for just saying the same distance. So if you look at our example here, this circle with A, B, C, D, E, all the way around to R, those points are all on the circumference of the circle. The center of the circle is O. It is over here. I hope you can see that. And that point actually has coordinates. In this particular instance, the center of the circle, the coordinates is 3 and -1. And point A, point B, point C, etc., they are all the same distance from that point, which is the radius. And in this instance, it is 4. The distance that each point is away from the center is 4. So OB is 4, OC is 4. All these distances that we call the radius will actually be 4. Okay, so that's just some of the basic ideas around a circle, that it is a set of points that's equidistant from the center, and the center has coordinates, and we can find those coordinates, and we can also find the distance that those points are from the center, which we call the radius. So we can calculate the radius using the distance formula, which we revised just a few lessons ago. And while I'm talking about that, just a reminder that all the recordings of all our lessons are available on our website. So if you by chance missed anything, or need to watch something again, or just want to revise again, get ready for your exams, those recordings are available. So back to our question here, if we have these 2 points, point O, that's the center of our circle, and that is 3 and -1, -1, and we have point E, which is this point over here, and those coordinates are 7 and -1. We can calculate the radius, the distance from O to E, using the distance formula. Okay, and those are the steps to do it, and we can just look through it quickly, but we will do that in a bit more detail later on. But good thing to keep in mind that the radius can be calculated given the center of the circle and one of the points on the circumference of the circle. Okay, right. Can I see a thumbs up in the chat? I just want to know that everyone's with me, everyone's awake, and that we are well on our way into the lesson. Please put a thumbs up or another emoji, any emoji in the chat, just so that I can see we are all following and happy with what we are doing. Okay, Ms. Coco, what's your emoji for today?
My emoji is, I'm glad I'm still following, because you know how I feel about circles. So I'm still with you. That's my emoji is A-OK at the moment.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to put my emoji for today is cool. I am just trying to make the most of the day and just feeling pretty chilled. Okay, so for our circles, well done everybody, thank you. Miss Coco is showing that she's strong, yes. Okay, so back to the equation of a circle. So there are two ways to find the equation, two different circles that you do in grade 12. The one more so than the other, but we are going to start with it. We're going to take some baby steps, and we can call it the baby circle, because the baby circle has its center at the origin. So what are the coordinates of the origin again? I wonder if anyone can tell me in the chat. What are the coordinates of the origin? The origin on the Cartesian plane. Put it in the chat if you know, if you want to venture an answer, put it in the chat. Mbali is saying 0, 0. Yes, it is indeed. The center or the origin of the Cartesian plane, the coordinates for that is 0, 0. And in this diagram, we have a circle with the origin, or at the, let me get my words right. We have a circle with its center at the origin. Okay, so that's the first type of circle you kind of need to tick, is the one with its center at the origin. And for that circle, we can just use the formula x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. What does this remind anyone of? How does this look familiar? Does it look familiar to anyone? What does it remind you of? Where have you seen something like this? Well done, Relebogile. Yes, that is Pythagoras. Pythagoras. Pythag. That's it. Okay, and that's basically what we can use to calculate the equation of the circle. So when we calculate the equation of the circle, we need two things, the center and the radius. So in this case, the center is at the origin, so we know what those coordinates are. They're 0, 0. But to find the radius, we need to calculate the radius using the distance. Okay. Using the distance formula, or if the center is at the origin, we can just go straight to x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared, using the point that we've got. So for this circle, the point is 5 and 4, and we can substitute those points in. X is 5, and y is 4, and that gives me r squared. So that gives me 25 plus 16 is r squared. And what do we get r squared equal to? What is 25 plus 16? We get 41. Okay, so the radius squared for this circle is going to be 41. What will the radius then be? The radius will be the square root of 41. Okay, so make sure you understand this difference between r squared, that's 41, and the radius, the actual radius being 41. And we end this all off by giving our equation x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared, which in this case is 41. Okay, can I see a thumbs up, thumbs down? Everyone happy with our baby circle? Our baby circle with the center at the origin. It's really very straightforward. All you do is, if you are given a point on the circle, then you substitute the x and the y coordinates to get what r squared is. Okay, well done, everybody. So baby circles left behind. Let's look at more grown-up circles. So the more grown-up circle, and the one that you work most with in matric, is the one with the center that is not at the origin. It's at a different place. It has different coordinates. So in this case, we just use A, B for those to represent those coordinates. So A and B can be anywhere on the Cartesian plane. And the coordinates A and B will give you the center, the coordinates of the center of the circle. Okay, so again, we can use our Pythagoras or our distance formula, and you'll see that actually the equation of the circle is just the distance formula. If we scroll up, where did we have the distance formula? We had it over here. That is exactly what we have when we are calculating or finding the equation of a circle. It's just the distance formula. Okay, so to determine the equation of a circle or to sketch a circle, it's important that you have the center and the radius. So like I said a little bit earlier on, when we are sketching, you are seldom asked to sketch a circle because it is quite tricky to get that round shape without a protractor. But if you had to be asked to find the equation or to sketch a circle, you need the center and the radius. Okay, so let's see how that works. You are given the circle with center -4 and 3 and radius 5. Write down the equation of the circle. Right, so always start with your standard form, which is x minus b squared. Sorry, x minus a, not x minus b. I'm getting my what is it? My alphabet all mixed up here. A goes first before b. So x minus a, we can just take it from here, x minus a plus y minus b, square it, that gives me r squared. Okay, so what have we got? We have the center of the circle. The center is given over here, that's -4 and 3. So we can substitute that in and say x plus 4, that's just substituting in, plus y minus 3 squared. Do I have my radius? Yes, the radius is given. It is 5 squared. So I substitute that in. I'm going to make that a different color as well. Let's make that a green. That's my radius. Substitute that in as well. So center and radius. Substitute it in. And that's the equation of my circle. X plus 4 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 25. And we call this format for the equation the center radius form. Because we could go ahead and multiply all of this out. We could square this bracket, x plus 4 squared, and square this bracket, y minus 3 squared. If we square those brackets, we would get the equation of the circle in standard form. But today we're just going to focus on getting the center and the radius from the information that's given. Right. Let's have another thumbs up in the chat or thumbs down. Why do we make -4 +4? So this is actually what happens if I had to show that again. So it's x minus a. So basically we sub in -4 like that. And a minus and a minus make a plus. Okay. Right. Wonderful. I hope that explains it. Let's carry on. Let's have a look. Given the circle with center at 2 and -1 and 5 and 3 as another point on the circle, determine the equation of the circle. Okay. So I like to always start off with what it is that I'm trying to work out. I am trying to find the equation of a circle. So for the circle, I need the center, A and B, and I need the radius. Okay, so the center in this case is no problem. There it is, 2 and -1. So I can substitute that in and then and that will take care of the center. Then I need to find R. I can substitute the other point in to find what R squared is going to be. So I'm going to start by just subbing in the center. So that is going to be x minus 2 squared plus y plus 1 squared is equal to R squared. So that's just subbing in the center of the circle. That's done. Now I'm going to sub in the other point because I still have too many variables here. If I want to solve for R, I need to substitute for some of these variables because there's too many variables for me to solve for. But I can sub in again for x and y because I have this other point on the circumference of the circle. So that point is 5 minus 2 squared, and y is 3 plus 1 squared, and that's going to give me R squared. So on my left-hand side, I only have numbers now to calculate. So 5 minus 2 is going to be 3 squared. 3 plus 1 is 4 squared, and that is going to give me R squared. So that's 9 plus 16 is going to be R squared. So R squared is 25. Now I can put it all together and actually do my equation for my circle, which is x minus 2 squared plus y plus 1 squared, and R squared is 25. Okay, so sub in the center, sub in the other point, solve for R squared. And that's always what you need for your circle. You need your center, you need another point so that you can find what R squared is. Right, let's move on before we get some time to practice these ideas. Let's look at one last type of question. So given the circle, there's the equation. Okay. Now, given that equation, what information can we gain from it? What is the radius of the circle? And what are the coordinates of the center of the circle? And then sketch the circle. So I want you to try and just do these 3 questions now. Write down what the radius is. So be careful. You want the radius, not the radius squared. Write down the radius. Write down the coordinates of the center of the circle and then make a rough sketch of the circle. If you have like a print or something, then you can do like a proper circle, but otherwise you can just use your freehand to more or less draw a very round as possible circle. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do that. And pop your answers in the chat so we can see. Skaga says use a cup. Of course you can do that. I've got some zambak here. That's going to be my circle. But obviously I can't draw that. But if I had to draw it on piece of paper, that's what it would be. Pop your answers in the chat. And I wonder who can draw the roundest circle freehand, because I think that's a talent. Okay, we've got some answers in the chat coming in for the center and the radius. Looks good, everyone. I'm going to prepare my drawing so long. Oh, that's not going to work. Okay, I see lots of people answering and giving us their answers to the question. Let's write down the radius of the circle. So the radius is going to be 4. R squared is 16. So radius is 4. Well done, everyone. I think most people got that one right. And then write down the coordinates of the center of the circle. The center of the circle will be 3 and minus 1. And then draw a rough sketch of the circle. So our center will be more or less there, 3 and minus 1. And then we also just need to indicate the radius is 4. Okay, great stuff. We are just getting warmed up and we are ready for some more. Okay, next one. I want you to give this one a shot. Determine the equation of the circle where there is a point C with coordinates minus 5 and minus 3, and the center is minus 1 and 2. Sorry, C is the center and D is a point on the circle. As soon as you're ready, pop your answer in the chat. Ms. Kaka, how are you doing today with the circles?
I'm doing good, actually. I'm feeling a lot confident. Yeah, I just need to remember C is the center. Okay, there we go. I got it.
Yes, C is the center.
Okay.
Yeah, let's try and have this done by 17:31. Well done, Casey. You've got an answer for us. Oh dear. Every now and again, my stuff just disappears. Luckily, it comes back again. Okay, determine the equation of the circle we see as the center. So let's start by looking at what it is we are working out. We are finding the equation of the circle. So let's write down what the equation of a circle is, and then we know which parts we need to figure out and substitute in. Lots of answers coming in. Well done, everybody. Well done for trying. Well done for giving this a go and for putting your answers up. It's really great. Okay, so the center is going to be +5 and y +3. Great stuff. And then that gives you r squared. So we still have r squared left to solve for. And for that, we're going to sub in our other point. -1 and 2. So if x is -1, oops, I keep forgetting that square there. -1 +5, and this one is 2 + 3 squared is r squared. So this is going to be 4 squared +5 squared. Oh, here's those numbers again. They keep popping up. 16 + 25 gives me 41. For r squared. Therefore, and remember, put it all together. Round off your answer nicely by writing down the full equation. So x +5, y +3 squared is equal to 41. Well done. Quite a few of you got that. Check your answer. If you went wrong somewhere, make sure you understand where you went wrong. Did you maybe forget to change the sign of the -5 and the -3? Did you maybe forget to square correctly? Make sure you pick up on your mistake and then highlight it and make a note to not repeat that mistake. Okay, and then let's do the next one. Write down the equation of the given circle where A is -3 and 2. That's our center of the circle. And B is a point on the circle, -1 and 2. So here's another one. If you got the previous one wrong, see if you can improve and get this one right. If you got the previous one right, see if you can start a streak where you are getting 2 answers in a row right. Okay, another 2 minutes for this one. So we'll check back at about 17:36 on my side to see how you guys are doing with this. Don't forget to pop your answers in the chat when you are ready to share. Nice. Some answers are coming in. Some say the radius is 5. Some say the radius is 4. I wonder which it's going to be. Well done, Sebo and Sebo Siso. Let's see if you are right. Let's give it a few more minutes. Yeah, let's give it another minute or two so that more people can venture their answers into the chat. Okay, so I've started off our question. I've popped in the center of the circle already. That's at -3 and your -3 and 2. Sorry, it seemed like it was -2 on the sketch, but it is actually just 2. So that's the first thing we do. We put the center of the circle, and then we are going to calculate the radius by subbing in our other point. So our other point is -1 plus 3 squared. And then y is 2 minus 2 squared is r squared. And then -1 plus 3 is 2 squared. And then that's actually going to be 0. So r squared is indeed 4. Some of you had 5. I'm not sure how you got 5, but double check how you worked it out. Round off our answer nicely by putting everything together with the center and the radius, the full equation of the circle, x plus 3, y minus 2, and 4. Okay, well done, everyone. That is looking great. Last one, well, second last question. We are going to sketch this circle and give it another go with your best hand to draw a round circle. And another 2 minutes, we'll check back at 17:41 for this one. Hi, Siatemba. Do you have a question? Go ahead, Siatemba. You can unmute and ask your question.
Ma'am, I was asking my question regarding the question you just gave us. You wrote down 2 equations. Should we write? Wait, I'm a bit confused with you writing down 2 equations.
Where did I at question 2?
Okay, maybe it's me. Maybe it's my phone. I don't know. I'm seeing the different things.
No, let's figure it out. Was it for question 2, you mean, that I wrote down 2 equations?
Yeah, you see question, okay. So when writing down the equation, you have to write down your R2.
R squared, yes.
Okay, R squared. So you can't just leave it as R squared. You have to write down the actual radius.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
That's why we calculate it so that we can actually write down what r squared is. So you need, for the equation of a circle, you need the center and the radius squared.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so I'm wondering how everyone's circles are looking when you're sketching. So from my equation, I can tell what the center is. The center is -7 and 1. And our radius, so radius squared is 49. But radius on its own is 7. And we just work with the positive value because the radius is always a distance. So we can draw our circle. And our center is at -7 and 1, so it will be on that side, and our radius is going to be 7. Okay, so indicate on your sketch where your center is. It's -7 and 1, and our radius is 7. Okay. It will be seldom that you get asked to sketch the circle, but it is good practice just to know what it will look like if you sketch it. Right, we have time for one last question, which is a little bit more of a thinking question, which you can actually take down and practice at home. And on Thursday, I will look at the answer for this one. So we have a circle, point A and point B, and AB is the diameter of the circle. And the question is that you give your answer for the equation not in center radius form, but in standard form. So take a minute, jot it down, go try it before Thursday, and on Thursday we are going to go through it. Miss Coco says you can take a screenshot. Yes, you are welcome to take a screenshot and to go and see if you can figure out. I'm wondering, maybe just give me a thumbs up in the chat if you have done analytical geometry with circles this year. Just put a thumbs up in the chat so we can see if you've done analytical geometry with circles. Okay, so some of you have just started today. Well, okay. Skoko, can you maybe do a tally of this, just for interest's sake?
Yeah, I'll do a quick count.
Thank you. While people are getting their question, this is a bit of homework. Not often that you get homework at Watobe, but this is it. Yes, yeah, see, Temba, you have another question. You can quickly ask it.
I'm sorry to bother you, but I was asking for us who are already doing calculus right now, will there be any calculus extra lesson videos being posted before June?
Yes, we are. It's on our schedule. If you check our schedule, we are starting. Okay, so we're starting calculus a bit later, at about the 16th of June. But on our website, there are also calculus videos already. So you're welcome to have a look there for calculus. Okay. Ms. Coco, I think it's time for a poll today, right?
Oh, sorry, I'm having trouble unmuting. Yes, we do have a poll today. Yeah, so I'm going to run the poll quickly.
Okay.
All right, guys, so something's going to pop up on your screen. Those of you who've been here before, you know what to do. And those of you who are new, just pick the answer to your question as honestly as you can, so we can get an idea of where you are in terms of the lesson today. Okay. I must say, Ms. Barnard, I'm feeling a little bit better about circles today. And I kind of think I know where this question is going. I mean, the ax squared and the by squared ish, and then the cx, yeah, ma'am, that part, no, but I think I know what I'm doing some way. I'll figure it out before Thursday, I promise. I'm going to know what all of those mean, but I think I've got an idea. So yeah, I think I'm on the right track.
Okay, cool.
All right, I think as soon as you guys, I don't know if there's anything else we need to remind them of, Ms. Barnard.
That's it for today. So we're just going to wait for everyone to finish the poll. There's about 10 of you still need to vote in the poll. And that is it for us today. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming. And remember, Thursday is a low stress quiz, and it will be on circles. So maybe you get your name up for a shout out. But thanks so much for joining us today. It's been a wonderful opportunity to see all of you and to get your thoughts. On Thursday, we are continuing with circles. We've just started with circles, so we will continue on Thursday with circles. Dinkley, so the quiz on Thursday will also cover today's lesson. Remember, the quizzes for all the other lessons are up on our website, and you're welcome to go there and practice those as well. Okay, thanks so much, everyone, and we'll see you back here again on Thursday. Bye.
Bye.